because Steve Nash and Ray Allen is on here, now you got a big group of gentlemen that you got to make a decision on. Because all these guys can't make it this year. Jason Kidd, this is his first time being eligible because he's actually at the 5-year point, so he would have been eligible anyway. And we talked about Steve Nash and Ray Allen. Grant Hill is on this thing. Chris Webber is on this thing. I think Tina Thompson get in. If y'all don't know Tina Thompson, she played in the WNBA for Houston, for the Houston Comets. She was a very important piece. A lot of people talk about, Cynthia Cooper and Cheryl Swoops, on that team. But Tina Thompson, a lot of people may know the red lipstick, but she balled. She balled. She brought it every week. She was their big three, on that team. So she'll probably get in. I hope she gets in and she doesn't have to wait any longer. But someone's going to have to wait in this mix. And I really want to, I think it's going to be a controversy because I really think Steve Nash is going to get in and people are going to have a problem with it. Steve Nash, 2-time MVP. A lot of people would say he shouldn't have been, a 2-time MVP. A lot of people will say, well, he didn't win, a championship. He was a guy that, that Steve Nash was, multiple time All-Star, great passer, great assist man, really good from getting, other players involved, but also, being able to pull up himself. So it's not like Steve Nash is someone that's borderline, if you will. I just think some people, may have an issue, with some of his accolades that they feel that he shouldn't have won. Should he wait? That's tough to say. Ray Allen, 3-point marksman, had success at UConn. Because remember, basketball Hall of Fame is about everything you did in basketball. Won a title with Boston and with the Heat. Hard press. Jason Kidd, been to the NBA Finals. Been to the NBA Finals, 3 times? Won 1. Co-MVP or co-Rookie of the Year with Grant Hill. Chris Webber, he had success. But I'm looking, if someone's going to be left out, I think Chris Webber being left out, I don't think anyone would be surprised by that. But I definitely think Mo Cheeks need to get in now. I don't understand what's taking so long, with Mo Cheeks. But if you got Steve Nash, Ray Allen, Jason Kidd, I think you got to make Grant Hill wait too. And I love Grant Hill, even though he went to Duke, but he played for my Pistons. You gotta make him wait. I don't think he'll have a big problem with it. I think the injuries slowed that whole process down. And it's kind of what could have been, with Grant Hill. He will still get in, but I don't think he gets in this year. But I do think Steve Nash, Ray Allen, and Jason Kidd, they will probably all get in together. Like I said, I think Mo Cheeks will get in too, as well. But Rudy Tomjanovich, he'll probably get in. Rudy Tomjanovich, man, obviously NBA Finals winning twice with the Houston Rockets. So he has that there. I'm looking at this list as well. Tina Thompson, I'm telling y'all, man. I don't know why I'm stuck on this Tina Thompson, but I just remember when Tina Thompson was playing in the WNBA, she held her own. She was not someone that was just along for the ride. I remember the lipstick, but I remember she giving people that business in the paint. So I think she gets in. She should. I just think she gets in. But I'm just Steve Nash, Ray Allen, Jason Kidd. I know people are going to, probably say Steve Nash shouldn't get in, at this point, and let someone else in. But I think he'll get in. I just do. I just do. But shout out to some of the people that's in the Wait a Minute Show chat room. Tiffany Sports and Heels is in here. Big L is in here as well. Miss Girly Girl is also in here. So it's a lot of people tuning in. Tiffany, I said Tina, but Tiffany Sports and Heels said, Tina Thompson was the first player drafted in the WNBA. She's getting in. Tiffany also said Grant Hill is not getting in. Which I am there with you, She believes Mo Cheeks is getting in. I think you're right there as well. We're agreeing today, Tiffany. What is going on? We need to disagree on something, but those they will get in. I just think they'll get in. So you listen to the Wait a Minute Show. Your man Jelani JB Bodie early up this morning, and we're going to be going until pretty much almost 10 o'clock, but do not leave after that, because following me will be the Chief Rocker Jersey Vern. He'll be on at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so you don't want to go anywhere, because if anyone knows Chief, he's going to have something that he needs to say and get off his chest about this weekend, about some comments people made, and, he'll probably get into his Yankees as well, because spring training is starting up. So, Clay Munger Davis, he also said, how Tracy McGrady get in, but not Grant Hill? I just think health, Tracy McGrady was a beast. Don't get me wrong. He was one of the prime elite scorers in the NBA, but I just think the injuries is what is hurting Grant Hill right now. I think he will get in probably eventually, but I just think they keep pushing him back because of the injuries, But that's the one good thing. Normally they get it right, and they don't wait too long, except for this Mo Cheeks thing, and then he'll get in. But we're talking about the NBA and in the All-Star Weekend, because this is the Wait a Minute Show NBA version. Or NBA edition, I should say. We're doing nothing but NBA for the most part on here. And Adam Silver had his league address or press conference, if you will, during the All-Star Weekend. And there were some topics that were being brought to his attention that he spoke about, which I was, interested in hearing what his answers would be. And some of them that was talked about, it was pretty much four that stuck out to me. And the first one was they brought up the whole thing about sports betting. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I got a notification. I shouted out a couple people in the room, and I got a death threat on me. So let me make sure Miss Mocha Bella, who is also in the Wait a Minute Show chat room, she is in here as well. So I like breathing, I like living. So everyone, Miss Mocha Bella is in the Wait a Minute Show chat room. So I'm sorry, Mocha Bella. I don't want that to happen again. I'm sorry. So one of the first questions that they brought up was about sports betting. And the whole thing about sports betting is not, legal right now, or not all over the United States, I should say. So they're talking about bringing sports betting in the NBA in, and the NBA decided, you know what, if we do this, we want a 1% fee, for you guys making all this money, which I definitely understands that. Now, that 1%, I was kind of wondering, where did that 1% come from? And that is kind of a model, is what Adam Silver was saying, from other experiences and other instances for a team going into betting. It's been, or not just a team, just anyone going into betting that is a major product, in their field, if you will. So the 1% is where they got it from. They looked at it, and Adam Silver threw out a number. He said 7.5 billion with a B as in boy. $7.5 billion is what the NBA puts into everything they do as far as making this whole production of the NBA season for the entire year. So I understand where they're going with this. They want to get some money. They don't want everyone just making money off of them, and they don't get any of the pie. That 1% could change. I'm sure they will probably put somewhere in there where they could change that, maybe 1.2%, 1.3%, as time goes on. But it's long overdue. I mean, people are betting on it anyway, and it's under the table, or they're sending it somewhere else, and it's happening. So embrace it. I know people will say, well, what happens? This might impact the games. My question is, just because it's not legal, you don't think that has impacted a game? I'm not trying to put anything out there, but you can't tell me that as long as the NBA has been around, someone has been proposed to, or something, or realized that the certain outcome of a game can impact money on the outside of the organization. That's happened before. It will happen again. I know people are worried about maybe an open Pandora's box and it'll just, happen all the time. But no, I don't think it will happen like people think it will. So I wouldn't worry about that. The other thing they talked about was team expansion. So I've been talking about how Seattle needs a team. They deserve a team. They should have never left OKC, but the business of basketball is what, happened to the city of Seattle. And Adam Silver was talking about that as well. And we know that Seattle is making a push. They're trying to get a hockey team. They're trying to get all these other things, and their ducks lined in a row so that they can make the proper bid, for a team. But one thing Adam Silver did say is that they are not looking into an expansion at this point, because if they do an expansion, they got to do two teams. You just can't do one. David Aldridge was talking about this, and there's no, let's see. There's no hot story, if you will, or anything that's going to be coming out, pretty soon. But David Aldridge was talking about, if it was to happen, it's going to be more of moving a team instead of expanding, because the owners at this point, they're splitting the money 30 ways. They don't want to split it 32 ways, which I totally understand that. And I would see why they wouldn't, unless the money changed where they get more money. So then they're not taking, less money. So I get that. But he did mention if there was a team that was going to move and move to a different city, it would probably be the Grizzlies. Now, he said that, there's nothing in the works. There's nothing in place. But as far as, how maybe the logistics, or how the, maybe a lease or where the franchise is currently, and questions that haven't been answered yet for this franchise, they may be looked at as a team of being moved to Seattle. Now, I don't advocate moving a team, because obviously there are fans, there. I really thought it would be Sacramento. Now, they tried to move Sacramento at one point, but Kevin Johnson, mayor of Sacramento, stepped in and basically X'd that. So another team that could go to Seattle, when I think of it, I guess Memphis probably would, but I'm not advocating for that. I'm not hoping, for that. But if it happens, let me tell you, Seattle is going to explode, and they're going to love this team. But other things, and we'll keep going on because my man Chief is going to be on at 10 o'clock, so we don't want to hold him up. They asked him about this playoff format, and the playoff format right now is 8 in the East, 8 in the West. And he did say they had spoke about it. They're thinking about addressing it, about just the top 16 teams being in the playoffs. Now, the biggest thing that I think all of us know is the logistics of it. How would it work out? How are you going to, move teams back and forth, across the country, because you got to think that at some point during those